Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And welcome to this 25th Sunday, and welcome to the discussion today on authority, the strength of a child. Yesterday we were celebrating Father Clarence Williams' 40th anniversary, and thus you see the various decorations from his ordination, some of which I would like to keep, but I know he's going to take them with him when he leaves today. You know, back in the 1950s when I lived in the Varsity Projects, one of the games we used to play was called Ringalivio. Don't know where the name came from, don't know where the game came from, but it was a game that we played, and it was all about these guys who had teams, and there were two teams. And the point would be that people had to run. Oh, you had a team, and you had a captain on the team, and all of that sort of thing. And the area we lived in had many, many different buildings, but a huge area about which one could run and hide. And the way the game began, one team had to find all the others. And they could be in all sorts of places. And we had dens. The den was a stoop going up into one of the buildings. These were open-air stoops, and when people were caught from the other team, they obviously captured them and put them in their den. And then, of course, you had this thing happening where a rival group could go and tag the den and free them.
Okay.
You see, and so they would be free, and then of course the game went on and on and on. One of those games you can play all day and all night.
All right.
Because by the time you get your people into your den, somebody from the other side can come and sneak in and tag it, and off they go. And so it went on and on. One of the things we learned, obviously, we learned about leadership, we learned about how to behave.
Right.
And of course, there's a sense of control, or self-control. How do you win this game? And so, Ringalivio was one of those games, we had tons of them that we played, but that was one of those nice running games that kept me going all day. You know, as we get older, things change, as you know. And we're often involved in situations where, for the common good, whatever the common good is, we consider it for me. And we begin to think about not other people that much, but about what's good for me. And how does this affect me? Or how does this affect then my family? Or what's in it for me? We say we're concerned about others, but when it comes down to reality, the reality is dollars and cents, personal status, and prestige. It's all about me and my authority, be it real or imagined. In the gospel today, Jesus is traveling about Galilee. He's traveling about Galilee instructing the 12, instructing them about what he is about. Now, we don't know all that was said. We don't know how long they were traveling about Galilee. We don't know any of that. If this was a one-day thing, or a two-day thing, or whatever. Mark wants one thing to be known, and that is, Jesus said, of the many things that they were talking about, he said, the Son of Man is to be handed over to men, and they will kill him. And 3 days after his death, the Son of Man will rise. That's the heart of it. That's the heart of it. Now, the trouble is, you don't want to hear some things. You know, we really don't want to hear the fact that a friend of mine has cancer, pancreatic cancer, as a matter of fact. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear the somewhat negative things. And sometimes we really want to hear something from a son or daughter who's been missing. And we don't hear from them. We want to hear from them. The most important thing is Jesus is telling them who he really is, why he is, and why he has come. It's an extremely important point. As we said, they have been talking about many, many things about God, many, many things about families and all of that, and their own families included. But the main point was that Jesus tells them he's going to be handed over, he's going to die, and 3 days later he's going to rise. But all the apostles wanted to do, Mark tells us, all they wanted to do was talk about who's the greatest. And that got me to thinking, one can imagine what their conversation might have been like. They might have said something like, which one of us has the better approach to temple leadership?
Okay.
Whose wife cooks the best bread? Who is Jesus' favorite one among us?
All right.
Or which one of us dresses better than the other? Whose wife is the prettiest?
Okay.
Whose kids are the smartest?
Well.
Which section of Galilee do you think is the best area for development? What about our fishing business? Is the fishing business getting better or worse in the Sea of Galilee? We often don't know, of course we don't know what they were talking about, but you can imagine that they were talking about some very mundane things after Jesus told them the reason why he's here and the reason what he's going to do about himself. They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it. What do we do when we do not want to hear the truth? We either close our eyes or pretend we hear something else. We sometimes are afraid and not able to say anything. We change the subject or pretend that it wasn't as bad as it was. Or in some way we just try to lessen the effect of what was said. Jesus takes a child and places the child before them. He puts his arms around the child and says, whoever receives a child like this in my name receives me. Whoever receives me receives not me, but the one who sent me. If you're going to be the greatest, you have to be the least one.
Come on.
It might have been something like this too. If you honor, respect, and do good to this child, you do honor and respect and good to me. But when you, apostles, do this, you do this to the Creator of everyone who sent me to you. Honor, respect, and doing good is what leadership is about.
All right.
And honor, respect, and doing good is how we serve one another. Why? Why children? Children can do remarkable things.
Yes.
And parents see that all the time. And children can teach us many interesting things. Have you noticed their service, their compassion? Have you noticed how freely they move about?
Yes.
And how freely they will do things?
Yes.
Now we know children pout and there are other negative things too, but we're talking about how children can be such an asset to us. The honesty and the faith of a child is anything but childish. When Jesus does that, can you imagine how the 12 felt? Here they were, ignoring what he said, and talking about mundane things. And then to have him say, all right, the greatest one of you, and he brings over this child, puts the child in front of them. Jesus breaks with convention. In his day, think about this, children and women are like slaves.
Yes.
And children can be killed. If you have too many girls, kill one, it's all right. If you have, this was the Roman, especially the Roman sentiment. Putting children before them as examples of authority was completely unheard of. Unheard of. Now, I've heard it said that this particular text should be read and preached at every ordination ceremony, every anniversary of a priest, and every parish council meeting or diocesan anniversary celebration. Somehow or other, we tend to not be as transparent as we should be when it comes to authority. Whoever has authority in the church needs to keep the example of children in mind because of their transparency toward all and the safety that they need to receive from everyone. And children also remind us of the marginalized, those who might be mentally disturbed, those who are in prison, those who are in some other way not being able to live out their full potential in some way. Honor needs to be given to everyone,
That's right.
no matter who they are.
That's right.
Respect needs to be given to every person,
Yes.
no matter who they are. And we must do good for all, regardless of who they are,
Amen.
without exception.
Amen.
Now, brothers and sisters, you can only know the authority that you have if you know how to deal with that authority. If you have an idea as to what you are called to do in the church and know what your gifts, talents, and charisms are, you might be on the approach of knowing what your authority is. All of us need to remember that authority is given because of service. Authority is not given because of money, and authority is not given because of title. Authority is given because of service. And that's how one is proven to be great. This coming Saturday, September 29th, called and gifted. It's at 9 o'clock. It will be a day for you to remember. 9 o'clock, $15. Don't worry about the money. Just talk to us. There's scholarships. How do I know what my gifts are? How do I know what my talents are? How do I know what this authority business is all about unless I learn and find out how to serve? It's all about serving. It's all about being aware of our gifts. What is it we can do? What is it that maybe I shouldn't do, but want to do? And putting things in balance. This is what today is about. Authority, and we're looking at authority and we're saying that authority is the strength of a child. It is from children that we learn an awful lot. And Jesus is saying, it's not all of these things that you guys are talking about. You know, you talk about so many of these other kinds of things. What you need to be talking about is service. And what you need to be talking about is how well do you serve? Right. And how well can you serve? That's right. That's what we need to be talking about. So brothers and sisters, we have an opportunity after this liturgy to join in just a conversation in the hall. But also next week we have an opportunity to learn, what is it? What are my gifts? And you know, quite honestly, people don't know what their gifts are. Many don't know what they are. Many people have not really maybe had the time or set aside the time to really think about who they are. You know, today Jesus is sharing with them who he really is. Right. Not just this wonderful teacher, not just this miracle worker, not just the one who's able to tell stories and all that, but he is sharing with them the fact that he's going to die, and he's going to rise. He is this servant of all. From the first reading today, rather harsh reading, I was wondering if the apostles thought about text from the book of wisdom. They probably did. You know, they're involved with so many things. And you know how life is. One thing happens and another thing happens in the day. And before you know it, you're talking about this and thinking about that. And things just go on and on. It takes time to reflect. So next Saturday, we're asking you to come and reflect with us about charisms and about what that means. What that means for our parish. Or what that means for you personally. And you know, if we do not do that kind of thing, if we don't do that kind of thing, what we do every Sunday may become a rote kind of experience rather than an experience that's enriching. So we want to encourage you to please join us next Saturday, especially for Called and Gifted. And that hopefully will be a beginning process for you to think about all these wonderful things that are possible for you as you grow and mature in your faith. All of us have to do that. And all of us from time to time need that time away, but we can spend time just doing that.
Yes, that's right.
So please join us next week. And today, think about how well we serve each other, and think about how available we are to one another. Let the church say,
Amen.